All right, everybody. So this is the frequency separation video. There is a cheat sheet that is on Google Classroom on this week's assignment sheet as well that kind of walks through each individual step for you. So it should be relatively easy, but there are very specific numbers you need to make sure you input. So if you have questions about what I'm typing in, just make sure you check out those numbers. So our first step is going to be to make two duplicate layers for our background layer. So we're going to do that, and you're going to name the first one lines and then blur, excuse me, and then the top one lines. So once we have those two duplicate layers done, we're going to turn the eyeball off on our lines layer so that we're really actually and truly seeing our blur layer. So we're going to switch to our blur layer, and this is where a lot of people do end up messing up. So make sure you click blur to make it your active layer. Next, we're going to go to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. All right. So you see it goes ahead and kind of gives you an idea if you have your little preview box checked off at your Gaussian blur. So we're going to increase the slider until the main features of your face begin to get blurry. Now, mine's at defaulted 9.9. That's a little bit too high. So we're going to go back all the way down to 0.1. So we're not really blurred here. So we're I'm at 2.3 and I'm starting to get blurry. I'm going to go 2.5, okay? So just until that main thing gets blurry. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the eyeball on our lines layer back. Oop, press OK. We're going to turn our lines layer back on, and you see you can't see the blurriness anymore. And then with our lines layer now on, so I'm going to select the lines layer. I'm going to go up to Image, Apply Image. Where did you go? Oh, right there. See, I can't even find stuff sometimes. So Image, Apply Image. And then in this, we're going to make sure our layer is selected. It says blur. The blending mode right here says subtract. And then we're going to change our scale to 2 and our offset to 128. All right. And then we're going to hit OK. And you'll see this is what you're supposed to look like at this point in time. And then on the mode for this lines layer, so we can change our mode over here. So this right here, we're going to go from normal, and we're going to go to linear light. You may have to scroll down. Linear light. All right, so now we're going to put the blur and the lines layers into a folder or a group. So I'm going to select both and push the folder button. So that's group 1. All right, and we're going to open that back up, click on our blur layer. And we're going to now circle the main areas of our face that we want to kind of blur and smooth stuff. So if I was looking at her face right here, I would kind of focus in this general area. You can see some pores right here. Let's see. Some little fine wrinkles. Those little things that we just kind of want to blur and smooth is what we're going to do. So with our lasso tool, we're going to select it. The quick key for lasso is L. We're going to select this area. And remember, I have my blurs layer active. Okay. And now I'm going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And you can kind of see, obviously you don't want it at 106 pixels because it looks very fake. We still want to make sure all the edits that we're doing are realistic edits. But you just might have to go a little bit past what you were at. So this is at nothing. You can still see there's a lot on her face. And we're just kind of trying to smooth all of that. So I think 6 is too high. I'll go around a 5.4. And I'm going to do that on both sides of her face. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, 5.4, same amount. Okay. I'm going to do right here, because why not? Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay. All right, and Command D deselects. All right, so once you have that, that's really how you do a frequency separation. I'm going to close this, and then I want to turn the group on and off so you can see the huge difference that happened there. Okay. Now, if you look at right up under her hat at this portion of her cheek, okay, so right here where the light's hitting her cheek is really where you can see a lot of that. Okay, it's just kind of smoother. It's kind of like if you were buffed out your skin a little bit. So you can do it in more places on the skin, or if you were doing it to yourself and you have a problem area that you're self-conscious about, you could do that. Or if there was something in particular you're trying to hide on someone's skin, this is how you would kind of just make it look a little bit cleaner. We will be using this a lot on pretty much going forward any of the facial type things that we do. So the rest of the week, you do have to do this on a picture of yourself. And then you will also do this on a picture before we add makeup to an unmakeuped face. All right, and that is all.